against Peru in the previous round. They lost at home against Ecuador on the opening match day. Gab Marcotti with us. Gab, this could happen, couldn't it? No Argentina in the World Cup for the first time since 1970.
It could happen, but I think it's pretty remote. I think if you look at the way the other games shake out, they need to win one of those two games, and I think they'll be okay. I think what's interesting, though, is that, Jorge Sampaoli, he came in, he had to focus on results rather than perhaps really implementing his style of play. These don't really look like Sampaoli teams just yet. And against Venezuela, I thought they were actually pretty unlucky and probably deserved all 3 points. So I wouldn't be overly concerned, but yeah, you got to win at least one of your remaining two.
You say that it's weird. Venezuela are obviously knocked out, boys. You look at this Argentina team. Rubbish.
Yeah. Hope Moreno's watching.
He knows.
And this Argentina team is stacked. And from a football fan's point of view, you think, come on, play good football. You've got all this talent here. Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter who's in charge. They just seem to labour their way through these results without turning it on.
Argentina have been the same throughout. Yes, you're absolutely right. I think when you look at the names, incredibly talented squad, arguably the best Argentina squad in names we've seen for some time. But all these players, with all their talent and all their experience, whenever Lionel Messi is on the park, they just defer to him. When he's not, they are totally devoid of ideas. So as a result, if Lionel Messi doesn't quite literally carry the other 10 players on his shoulders, it's a team that just can't seem to get results. Things have a way of working out for them. I still think they'll qualify, even if it's via the playoffs. But let's be honest, when you look at these names and look at the results, they don't seem to add up.
They don't seem to equate at all. And Gabby, you take a look at it and you mentioned the fact that Sampaoli hasn't had too much time with the team. This only, his second competitive match. Yet still, has he got what it takes to get the best out of this team and get the sort of performances that we would expect?
Well, look, Sampaoli is very, very different. I know people make the connection with Bielsa back in the day, but I think, football's changed, and also Sampaoli's gone in a slightly different direction in many ways. I think he can, and I think you're going to see the best of them at a tournament when they actually have time to prepare, and he has these guys for 3 weeks. The reality is, this time last week, he had coached as many Argentine national team games as you had, Dan. And I think that showed. He just said, we can't get it wrong. Uruguay away. Let's just make sure we don't screw this up and nick something if we can. They weren't able to. Uruguay defended well. And this time around against Venezuela, the Venezuelan keeper made some tremendous saves. Icardi probably should have had a penalty. You put those things together, you can only do so much on the pitch. At some point, it's out of your hands.
Yeah.